everybody, welcome back to our channel Fly Me to the Philippines, here in Cagayan de Oro City, overlooking the Cagayan de Oro River. Today, Rob, you have something to share with us.
We have a consulting client who gave us permission to share an amazing story, who lost 5,000 or more US dollars. She said,
because we're going to share that later. And aside from that, we have travel plans that we want to share with you guys to hear about your thoughts about it.
Yeah, we're going on the road. We have somebody who's going to watch our home, so don't come visit us while we're gone. And Chrissy, where are we going?
First, we will visit for the first time Iloilo.
People are really, we did a survey, it came in number 2, Iloilo, 26%.
Very interested and curious about what is in Iloilo, so I'm so excited to go there.
And from Iloilo, we go next?
We're going to Manila and to our favorite place,
Makati.
Makati, yeah.
We love Manila. Other people just don't like it, but it's so easy to get to from the airport, and prices of the condos have dropped way down. And then we have an exciting bus ride. Chrissy, tell us about it.
Yes, we're going to Baguio. Thank you so much for those who commented and helped me to comment down about Baguio.
Number 1 on our survey from our viewers.
We pushed it.
So we're taking the overnight Victory Liner Royal Class Sleeper. It's only 23 seats on the whole bus. It reclines, it's curtains. It's 1,500 pesos each, and we have a consulting client who's been with us the longest, and he's actually in the Philippines. And he's going to be taking the same bus with us to go to Baguio at the same time. So,
I'm so excited to try that kind of bus because never had tried that before. Did you?
I hear it gets real windy at the end. We have to finish our trip, but we got to get to our story about this expat shared with us. Oh my God. And Chrissy, we have a bonus. What does 100,000 pesos per month rent you here in Cagayan de Oro? We actually have 2 bonuses. There's an announcement from the U.S. government about the safety level in Mindanao. We're going to talk more about that. There was a major press release 3 days ago. You don't want to miss that. But Chrissy, where do we finish up after Baguio? We get on an airplane?
Well, we will be back in Cebu because we have something to do in Cebu. What is it?
We have to get my divorce papers apostilled or notarized.
So now let's start with the story because me too, I'm also excited to hear about it because, it was your client, so I only hear something a little bit about it. So I have a question about it. So, upon talking to him, did he share it right away?
It came at I do 90 minutes for $50. It's like having a big brother in the Philippines. At the last 5 minutes, he shared this story, and I had my tongue hanging out, and I said, "Can we share it with the channel?" And he said yes. He sent me a photo of the girl holding a passport. More about that. We can't show you the photo. We don't have her permission to show her photo. But, it was right at the very end. He's a really interesting guy. He's a veteran. He's got a strong income. He's been to the Philippines before. He wasn't new to dating. He wasn't new to the scammers. He wasn't new. He had gone on Christian Filipina and had paid $1,000.
Wow.
And he said that sometimes they make the girl send the Centimar. They're always calling him up, offering to send flowers and chocolates to the girls, but it's a little pricey. And they offer travel agency service. I didn't know that, but there's a lot of upselling going on, apparently.
Extra services.
Extra services at quite a premium.
Yeah.
And but he had a lot of confidence because it was Christian Filipina.
So he met the girl in Christian Filipina and he thought that it's legit since he paid a lot.
Probably. The new girl, he's really happy with her. He's been video chatting her for months, and he thinks he's found his bingo. His bingo, the girl that jumped off the page. 85 minutes into the call, I don't know what prompted it, but he wanted to tell me about
a very interesting story.
A very interesting Expat Diaries, we'll call it, episode 1. And gentlemen, if you have a story and you want it shared in this format, go ahead and send an email to flymetothephilippines@gmail.com and expressly give us permission to share your story. And if there are photos that you're willing to share, send them along as well. But it can't be of a third person without their permission.
Right.
And we'll share it. And so anyway, he shared.
So he met a Filipina in Christian
Filipina in Mindanao, in central Mindanao.
And how old was she?
She claimed to be 28 going on 29, and she was finishing up maybe her nursing studies. She lived with her mother, and her father was an overseas foreign worker. But she was quite poor, and it didn't really quite make sense that her father would be earning money. Usually OFWs are middle class or upper middle class in the Philippines.
Yes, it depends also on the size of the family.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so he met her online, and then they did video chat.
Yeah, he
right?
did everything right. He approached it slowly. He did video chat.
It was a proof of life.
A proof of life, and she looked just like her pictures. And he spent a month video chatting her every day, every single day.
Okay, well, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
It's a proof of life, and she's talking to him every day, so it's showing sincerity.
And he thought she was really smart, and she was really interested about business and bettering herself, and he was really impressed with her kind of go-getter attitude. And then one day, he overheard some pigs on the property.
In the background.
In the background. He just heard some pig noises.
It's very normal here in the Philippines.
He heard pigs in the backyard, and he said, "What's up with the pigs? And who's raising pigs?" And she said, "Oh, well, my mom sometimes will buy a little baby pig, and, she can make just a little bit of money."
Yep.
And he was really interested in the business plan of the mother, how she made money on pigs. He wanted to know more about it. And long story short, he says, you should scale up. And you should buy baby pigs, and you should keep them only like a month or 2 months and sell them. Don't let them get big and fat when they eat a lot. Sell them when they're like prime lechons, maybe. I don't know.
Actually, the price of the smaller pigs is higher than when it's already old.
Okay, so he gave her $500 to buy 5 pigs maybe and raise the 5 pigs and sell them in 30 days or 40 days. And she made video footage, and he could see that she bought the pigs, and they sold the pigs. And just like he had envisioned and she understood the plan to be, they made money on the pigs.
So it seems like their relationship really did well.
Yes, and now it's like 2-3 months into their relationship, and they're talking business. She's always talking about how to, make money and save money and invest.
She managed it well, right?
She did everything perfectly.
And very transparent.
Very transparent. Everything's perfect.
I don't see red flags there.
No red flags.
Yeah.
So he's not able to come to the Philippines. He's got this job that he's can't get 3 weeks off, and he's stuck in America. He's mid-50s, and one day she can't talk because she's got to go buy groceries, and he's like, a little disappointed she's not available to video chat.
Things like that happen.
And sometimes you have to travel pretty far to go find groceries, right?
So they live away from the city.
Yeah, they're out in the country. So he's like, "Where's the nearest Sari Sari store?" And it's pretty far. And he says, "Well, maybe you should open up a Sari Sari store since you have to travel so far to buy groceries, and there doesn't seem to be one around you. Maybe you should." Everybody has this. It's a little grocery store in the front of your house with metal bars. It's like one every other store. Usually, it's a house, one every other house.
So he really engaged her into business.
Yeah, he said
businesses.
She did so well in the pig raising. He suggested they do a Sari Sari store. So he gave her more money to open up, and they built a Sari Sari store in the front of the family home alongside the road, and they bought a freezer for ice cream and cooler for beer, and he financed the Sari Sari store and the inventory, and
it's a proof, right?
Yeah, she's video chatting, and they're manning the store, and she's showing them the books. She's keeping the accounting, and everything's going just perfect. They're making it's hard to make money on a Sari Sari store, but somehow they're making money.
Yeah, they manage it.
Yeah. So then it's about 6 months in, and there's like a brownout, which can happen here in the Philippines. Here in Cagayan de Oro, we have pretty reliable electrical.
Very common in some places in the Philippines.
When we were in Dumaguete, we had an 8-hour brownout on a Sunday scheduled.
Yes, and now that there is El Nino that is hitting on the Philippines, they are experiencing 12 hours brownout.
So he's like, well, you should get a generator. That way the ice cream won't melt and you'll have cold beer, and people will hear that you have cold beer and your ice cream hasn't melted, and everyone is going to be miserable, and they'll come to your Sari Sari store. Let's get a generator, and we'll do more business. And she's like, oh, yeah, she researches the generator. She buys the generator, and sure enough, everybody finds out they have a generator, and on the often and frequent brownouts in that barangay, they're all coming to drink cold beer.
Of course.
And he said, you have a karaoke machine. That would be perfect for the Sari Sari store. So business is booming, so to speak, and everything's going great. Now they've known each other 7 months. And everything's going great.
Now let's see what happened after that.
Yeah, so the mother shows up around 8, 9 months and says, "Oh, there's this piece of property down the road on the frontage of the road. It would be perfect for a store. We could have like a grocery store and a rice selling store, and it would be perfect." And sure enough, so they take him there on video. He investigates the land just by video, and they come up with a business plan. And the girl is like a little graduate student, MBA student. She's just talking business. She loves business, everything business. He invests in the store. They open the store and they start doing business. And, they're making a little bit. Nobody's getting rich, but they're making money. Everything that he has asked them to do, this girl has kept the books, the accounting. She's enthusiastic.
I think it's just like a support of her passion, because her passion is to have business, right? So he's supporting her passion that also helps her, though it doesn't help him. Right. But in a way that helping her it's like it made like a really strong connection between him and the woman.
And, they put the house in the mother's name. So he doesn't buy the land or lease the store. It's all in the mother's name. And now it's about a year that he's been in this relationship. He's
without meeting in person.
Without meeting, but they're talking all the time. They're talking business. They're updating how the store is going, everything. And he has this feeling. And he says to me, when I first met her, I did a very cursory social media investigation. We're always talking about the video we have on Facebook, Trust But Verify. Basically, a lot of guys my age, we don't have Facebook pages. Like if you're recently divorced, you may never have gotten a Facebook page. In my fraternity house, Chrissy, there was like 100 guys, and only 5 of us have Facebook pages. Like 5, 10. It's just something guys our age don't always do, and they're not too familiar with social media. So we have this thing where we tell you how to reverse engineer. Filipinos tend to have 2 or 3 Facebook pages, and you might want to see who's chatting them and, liking their posts or what other Western men they're talking to.
So he just started to investigate online year after.
Well, he actually has a military background, and he's he's smarter than the average bear. He did a cursory look. And he didn't see anything, and then he forgot about it because he liked her so much and everything was going so well, and he just relied on the video chat.
But not too deep investigation.
Right. So now at this point, it's about $5,000+ invested. Okay, in addition to $1,000 that he paid to Kristen Filipina.
Yeah.
So he started to feel some very, very strong amorous feelings for this girl and this family. And he started to think, wow, this could be like the one. This could be a really long-term, I've never really, really dug into the open source social media that's available.
Yeah.
And he just started to dig into the Facebook pages and the Instagrams and the TikToks and all the other things that are open source. And he bumped into a very curious thing. Her grandmother appeared on Facebook and had the exact same name as the girl.
Grandmother.
Isn't that sort of unusual that the grandmother would have the same first name as the girl he's dating?
Not common in the Philippines.
Not common. There are certain, in America, it's common for Richard to have Richard II or something. But some religions, they would never name after a living person. They would only name after someone who passed away.
Yeah.
And here in the Philippines, I don't think it's very common at all.
Well, there are some, there are some people, but they will put Maria before the name.
Really? Maria before means what?
Yeah, like for example, I'm going to have a daughter, and I want my daughter to have my name, like my name. So I have to put Maria Chrissy.
Oh, okay. So that made him really, really suspicious, and he decided he would better rev up his search, and he found a TikTok page of a boy who had interacted with the Facebook. So, you see who's liking and commenting on the Facebook pages, and he followed to that person's page, and from that person's page, he followed to that person's TikTok page, and on that TikTok page, this is the first sign of serious trouble, on that TikTok page, she had written on his TikTok page, "You only come over on weekends to take me to bed." And he's like, ay, ay, ay.
Really, in public she said that?
She said it on his TikTok page, and he found it, and then he also found a comment from her brother that gave the guy in question some grief, or gave her some grief, that kind of confirmed that it wasn't just a joke, that these two were boyfriend and girlfriend. And so he confronted her, and he said, like, what's up? And she denied it. She denied it. She cried. She got hysterical. She denied it. She begged him to not believe any of it. And eventually, she broke down and admitted everything. That wasn't really her name, that she's been using her grandmother's name. And she, as part of the denial, this business with the passports is crazy. She sent him a photo, the one we have, where she's holding the passport. It's not a Photoshop. She's holding the passport up next to her head. And you can read everything on the passport. But if you look very, very, very carefully, the font on the year of birth is
being erased.
It's been erased, and it's a slightly different font. The numbers are just a 10% smaller than the other numerals on the Facebook. So he recognized right away, because he had some military background. He recognized right away it was a fake passport.
But he only recognized that after the red flags that he discovered.
He saw the comment by the boy on TikTok, and by her on his TikTok page. He confronted her. She denied it. She showed him the fake passport, and when she broke down and told him the truth, how old do you think she was? She was 17, a year after he had started video chatting her. She was only 16 at the time, and she said she was 28. And so he just said, that's it. And he's a really, he knows the value of forgiveness, and he told her, listen, no hard feelings. Keep the money, no police, no prosecutors, nobody. Now, he called Christian Filipina, had her kicked off the site because she's underage. And they gave him the Platinum program, which normally costs $2,000 for $1,500 as a way to make it up to him. And he continued, and he had another relationship. They came to the Philippines, met that other girl. It didn't work out because she wanted to marry, and now he thinks he's found his bingo.
Because he don't want to be married.
He didn't want to be. He hadn't spent enough time with her. They'd only spent like a month together, and she was asking. She wanted to be married, or else, and he didn't like the or else, so he passed.
Oh, so there was a condition.
There was a condition, but he had really liked her, and they had gotten to know each other. And if she hadn't pressured him, they might be together today. Anyway, that is the story of the $5,000 expat escapade. Girl turned out to be 17 and was 16 at the time it first started.
That's why it's very important to investigate the picture if there's no filter, because sometimes filter can make the look a little bit mature because of makeup. But
now, and just as a side, Chrissy, he says there was no funny business. There was never any, striptease. There was never any of that. He wasn't. He was very a religious guy. He wasn't interested in that, and she never offered him that. They had more of a business relationship, business friendship.
The business was what really connects the two of them.
The big news: the U.S. government has announced that parts of Mindanao have been taken from level 3 security to level 2.
So it was lowered.
Well, here's the article. We'll show it. Very safe. Department of Transportation welcomes the United States government travel alert downgrade in Mindanao. Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco, during an interview from Cagayan de Oro, welcomed the decision of the U.S. government to downgrade their alert level for Northern Mindanao.
Secretary Cristina Frasco said that the Mindanao is now ready to welcome the world.
So tourism is going to be a priority for Mindanao now, a strategic plan.
Specifically in Davao City, Davao del Norte Province, Siargao Island, and Dinagat Island.
So, Chrissy, like level 4 is like don't go. Level 3 is reconsider. And level 2 is use caution.
Yes.
So it's been changed to level 2.
Well, Secretary Frasco said that Mindanao, especially Northern Mindanao, is very safe and truly ready for tourists.
And we always get asked about this, but it's hard for us to give an ironclad assurance. But we know expats have lived here 15 years. We have a good friend lived in Butuan, has lived in Cagayan de Oro 8 years. We know another restaurateur.
There's a lot of expats in Ozami City as well.
Yeah. But we know a lot of expats, and they're like, if you're respectful to people, you'll do fine. There's crime everywhere, but so far the expats we know and our own personal experience has been pretty darn good. So, Chrissy, everyone should stay around. We're going to show what 100,000 pesos will buy.
So we're inviting everyone to live here in Mindanao.
Yeah, now that it's safe. Chrissy, now that Northern Mindanao has been declared so safe, we get a lot of people say, Rob, where do you live and how do you find this view? The breeze and the view, like everybody, and in our subdivision, us and the neighbor are the only two that have this view. Yeah. There's a few lots that could eventually be built on, but they're owned by the super wealthy people that own the development. I think they just reserved what they thought were the two best lots. Yeah. But all the other lots don't have this view that we have. They have some. They might get the breeze, and there's lots of gated subdivisions around here that get the breeze. And there's a gated golf subdivision called Pueblo de Oro. Now, Pueblo de Oro is also the name of a town. Yeah. But we golf, Chrissy, you and I, we go up
in Manolo Fertiz.
We drive an hour up the mountains. Del Monte Pineapple Plantation owns a golf course called the Del Monte. And we only pay 800 pesos to play 18 holes of golf, plus 500 pesos for the caddy. Pueblo de Oro is going to be twice the price. We just don't play there, but it's only 3 kilometers away. It's basically 3 kilometers this way. And check out this home. It came to our Facebook marketplace. Yeah. And people should check out this home and see now we pay 50,000 pesos, which last month was such a strong dollar, came to $860 US.
How about this house?
$860 for this house. This house will double because it's double our rent. So $1,720 US will rent you this house. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, Chrissy.
Would you like to have a house that is in the golf course? If you're into golf.
It's a beautiful house. I don't know what it costs to air condition, but I'm sure it gets a breeze. It's at elevation, like 600 feet of elevation. Yeah. If it's got open space, it's going to get a breeze. But I think you guys will be interested in seeing this house. We've got 14 photos here. Pueblo Golf Course house for lease, $100,000 per month. And Pueblo Golf Estates house for rent. Beautiful bungalow home with spacious living areas and bedrooms. It has a mountain view, wide gardens, plus a dip pool. It's got 1,069 square meter lot, which for this area is very large. Floor space is 400 square meters. And again, it's about 10.9 square feet to the square meter, something like that. And so that's going to be like over 4,000 square feet, I think. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2 covered parking, plus more of a landscape front garden, landscape back. Let's take a look at it and stop talking about it. So check out this living room. Isn't that gorgeous? That big view window. What do you think, Chrissy?
Yes, it's nice. Yeah, it's wide.
And look at the kitchen.
It's very big.
It's got this modern kind of cement wall look. Really beautiful island. And there's more of. Is this the same kitchen? This is different. Oh, it's the other side. It's the other side of the kitchen. Very nice. Let's see. You can really see how nice this place is. Okay, and here's the refrigerator on the right-hand side. So it looks like a Sub-Zero almost built in there. And then.
And some cabinets.
This is the master bedroom. Look at that view.
Oh yeah, it's in the it's elevated.
It's elevated. It's going to have it. Yeah, you can see it's looking down, beautifully decorated. There's another view of the living room. What is this over here on the left?
It's a kitchen.
Is it a couch or a coffee table?
Oh, I think it's like a coffee table.
Like a seat. You
or
a
wooden couch.
Very nice, very nice. And again, the master bedroom, or is just another bedroom?
I think it's another bedroom. It's very spacious.
It's huge. Very modern. What do you think this would cost in America, people? Go ahead, answer that question. Tell me what this would cost in Silicon Valley on a golf course. Okay, look at the artwork. And what do they have here in the corner? Very interesting. Looks like a steamer. Okay.
Table and seats.
And the bathroom, tub, bathroom.
The bathroom is really huge, like the one whole master's bedroom.
So they have a dip pool. There's no water in it, but this is a dip pool just to cool off, not to go swimming. Look at the views. Now, it's not the same as our view, but that's a nice view overlooking the golf course.
I think you could have a really good breeze in there.
I think so. Again, more of the view and the patio.
It's a big house and a big ground, too.
Yeah, I don't see any golf ball damage. So maybe you're safe here. And there's another bedroom, maybe the third bedroom. And it's got the splits. You see, you always want to look for a split unit if you can instead of a window air conditioner. And this is that first bedroom, maybe. And there's the front of the house, a huge driveway, garage. And it's in a guard-gated sub. They have a driving range. They have an 18-hole golf course. Chrissy, the contact information is Clint. And, go to Facebook, and we'll put the link in our description. If you're interested, you want to contact Clint.
Are you interested?
I'm interested, but I love our house here. We don't need anything. But boy, oh boy, if money was no object. And, Chrissy, I had a consulting client contact me today, and they said they're both working professionals. They're going to retire with $10,000 a month, but they have children. And I was like, this is the house for you because it's 20%.
Family house.
It's less than 20% of your monthly income would be rent, probably rent and utilities, and association fees is less than 20%. There's Xavier Private School, Corpus Christi Private School, Roseville Private School within.
And some international schools.
And downtown they have the English International School. But you would have all the private schools within 2 miles. You'd be living on a golf course, driving range, restaurants nearby. The uptown area, Cagayan De Oro, now that the Department of the U.S. government saying it's a little safer to come here. I mean, don't take it from me, but,
But we were confident when it was like in level 3, right? We felt confident.
Yeah, well, I came here, and, I immediately met other expats, and they just gave me a lot of confidence. And now I get asked all the time, and I don't want to be on record as saying, sure, nothing ever will happen. But, the fact that the government has recognized it's gotten safer on Mindanao is a real plus.
Yeah, I think wherever you go in the Philippines, you should always think that there's always level 1 or 2 precautions.
So people say we look like Regis and Kathy Lee. Do you think Chrissy looks like Kathy Lee?
I need to work on it so I will be qualified.
Yeah. I think she looks better than Kathy Lee, but that's just me. We asked earlier if people have stories of Asia, stories of the Philippines. They want to write an email to flymetothephilippines@gmail.com, or they're interested in private consulting, Detective Chrissy and Rob the Traveler. I've been getting asked to do travel plans, booking airlines.
Yeah.
People are telling me I'm better at booking airline
tickets.
Maybe
you should do that.
Yeah, well, I'd rather walk them through it. But, I'm able to help with, and I bought load, my client that we're going to Baguio with.
You're going to meet your friend.
He couldn't use his credit card. I bought load for his phone. Right here, I can actually pay your bills for you if you're having trouble with your electronics and your credit cards. But stay tuned for another episode.
So fly me to the Philippines. See you on our travel.
Chrissy, you gonna dance Zumba?
Again?
One more time.